beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I'm so happy to see you today. I hope that you and your loved ones are doing well and that you guys are taking care the best that you can, and I hope that you are having a fantastic weekend so far. It is Saturday, so I hope that you are doing something fun today. If you are doing something fun, even if it's just crocheting and enjoying the weekend, let me know down in the comments what you are getting up to. I am having something a little special because, and this might be pertinent information to some of you, Walmart has A&W root beer on sale this week. So I am having a root beer float. This is one of my color changing cups, if you're wondering what all this confetti looking stuff is. When you put something cold in it, it changes, and it has these little like colorful squigglies that show up that don't they're not colored when they're not cold. So A&W is doing I think $4.95. At least this is in my area. I do know that grocery prices vary by area, so I should say they are in my area. I don't know about everywhere, obviously. But name brand sodas especially do not run $4.95 a case anymore. So when I saw that it was barely more than great value root beer, I was like, you know what? I had just recently seen like on Facebook or something, like some like recommended post of some blogger that I don't follow. It was that their husband had surprised them with root beer float stuff, and it had been in the back of my mind, and then I saw that root beer was on sale, and I was like, I want a root beer float. So I got stuff for root beer floats. And this is just your little reminder that you deserve to have little treats like that. So if you see root beers on sale and you're like, you know what, I don't have a reason that I should get a root beer float, but I want a root beer float, gosh darn it, get yourself that root beer float stuff and make a little party for yourself. It's always nice to just celebrate literally nothing. Just celebrate you. Just celebrate being alive. Just celebrate the fact that it's the weekend and A&W had a sale on root beer. You don't got to have a reason to have a root beer float every now and then. So obviously that's a metaphor, and you don't have to have a root beer float if you don't want one, but you get what I'm saying, guys. You deserve something special. You deserve to treat yourself. I'm always a big proponent, a big supporter of treating yourself. So I hope that you will do that. I hope that you'll take some time for yourself this weekend and have a little bit of fun. So I got for you guys today two things. One, a finished make, and two, a little yarn haul. I mentioned it like 2 weeks ago that I had a little fun and went out and hit up like Ollie's and Hobby Lobby and like just places local to me that have yarn, which is literally just Walmart, Ollie's, and Hobby Lobby. Ollie's is really hit or miss. They have had the same yarn every single time I've gone, basically since Christmas when I first discovered that they had yarn. I guess it doesn't sell very well for them, so that can be great if they have really good yarn, but it also can be like, I've already seen this and it's nothing I want. So yeah, so I've got a little bit of a yarn haul for you guys that I haven't shown you yet, just a little miniature yarn haul. But first, let's start with the finished make I've got sitting here. So I told you guys earlier in the week that I had these granny squares that I had made kind of passively, you know, just to keep my hands busy, but I didn't have a project plan for them. And they're like these, I believe I made these with a mandala cake, and you know, they're variegated. They're very like soft and thin kind of squares, and I just kind of made them to like this random size, like I said, with nothing planned for them. And then what I did, since I decided while I was moving things around to come move everything into here, I was finding things like that, and I was like, I'm gonna do something with these, and I just felt like it, so I picked it up and I worked them up into something. So what I decided to do was I crocheted a bag. I took 4 of these big granny squares and crocheted them, and I did this on purpose to have the seam on the outside. I like how it looks with the seam on the outside. So I single crocheted them all together, and then I took some smaller squares and I folded them up and sewed them into like little triangle kind of shapes, and then I seamed those into there too, so that it's got like a little bit of an expansion on the sides, focus that for you guys. And then I took for the bottom 2 more granny squares that were the same size as the ones on the sides, and I folded them in half and I crocheted all around them to make them into rectangles so that it's got a little bit of, you know, size on the bottom. Then I had 2 granny squares. I had this yellow background and this bluish purplish background mushroom, and I was like, okay, I could make a little front flap for my bag. So I made another one, and then I bordered them in the same color, variegated color that I've been using for all of the trim. So you see that right there in between the squares. And then I went around them with some scrap yarn, and then I went around them again, and then I attached it to one side so that it flips open, and this is what it looks like when you open the bag. So here's inside of my bag, and then ba-doom. And I made a strap so that I can wear it crossbody, which is how I like to wear my bags. So as far as like crocheting them together went, I did single crochets basically around everything and putting everything together. But then when I was going around the border of the top all the way around the whole like circumference of the opening before I put the flap on, I actually did single crochets, and then I did Trinity stitches. And then I did, I think I might have done 1 round, or is it 2, of single crochets and then Trinity stitches. And then I slip stitched the flap on. So that's what this is. This is Trinity stitches. And then here is where I slip stitched. You can see the front. The purple is the front of those slip stitches. Slip stitched this on, and like I said, here's the front when the bag is open of the Trinity stitches. So just to kind of give it, for one, it kind of cinched it in just a little bit, which I thought, you know, was nice for a bag. Because the stitches, you know, kind of brought it a little bit tighter. I didn't skip a stitch in between them or chain in between them. So it kind of cinched in a little bit, which I wanted it to do, and I thought it was pretty. And then to kind of bring that in to the straps, I did a chain for my straps, chaining from this side of my bag all the way over to here to the length I wanted. And then I single crocheted back down, slip stitched on over here, and then I Trinity stitched all the way down, slip stitched on, and then I did 2 single crochets in the top of every Trinity stitch because I didn't want it, I wanted to keep it flat and not have it kind of bowing. So I did 2 single crochets in every top of every Trinity stitch, and then I slip stitched on, and then I slip stitched all the way back down and slip stitched on, and it looks like this. Let me focus it for you guys. So here's how my straps look. So I think that those are really pretty and nice and sturdy. Like I said, these were like mandala. This was like a mandala cake that I had used for this. It was over a year ago that I made those squares though, so I don't remember. Mostly this is basically kind of like a scrap bag, scrap project, scrap yarn bag. But to go around everything, I used this Urban Chic yarn, which I actually love this yarn. I actually have some of these I didn't buy in clearance, not necessarily this colorway, but then when I see them now, when they come out with new colorways, or especially if I see them in clearance, I hop on that because I really like this yarn. It is 78% acrylic and 22% cotton, and what I really like this yarn for is actually the mushroom granny squares that I like to make a lot. I like to do the mushroom portion of the granny square in a 4-weight yarn, and then the background in a 3-weight yarn, and I like to use this as my 3-weight yarn. And I'll kind of show you what I mean since I've got this right here. You'll notice that my mushrooms are bigger than my backgrounds, and that's because I use a 4-weight yarn for my mushroom, the white and the red, and then I use a 3-weight for the background. So this one in the middle, that background is actually an Urban Chic, not that Urban Chic, a different one. I just recognize it. It was, like I said, I made these squares quite a long time ago. These are all made with different yarns. They're all made with different reds and whites too. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, so now I've got a little bag, and I will probably wear this out today. The Urban Chic is trying to come along for the ride. But I will probably wear this out today, and I think it's going to be very, very nice. Like I said, I folded over for the bottom and those little side panels. I folded over the squares so they're double thickness, and then the sides are just single thickness, so I'll see how that holds up. If I need to, I might crochet like a panel and attach it to the inside. I didn't really feel like lining it, but who knows, I may end up lining it. We'll see. I don't like to hand sew because it just takes so long. I love the way that it looks lined, but I don't have a sewing machine or know how to use a sewing machine. And it takes forever to hand sew. And then I'm also not confident in my hand sewing abilities because I don't know how to sew. I just taught myself, like, you know, stick needle in, pull thread through, you know. Okay, so that was my finished make, and I totally just paused to have a root beer float break. And now I'm going to show you guys my little miniature yarn haul. So this is from Hobby Lobby, and it was 30% off week, so technically everything's on sale. I don't typically buy yarn that's not like on really good sales, but the 30% off sale is a pretty good sale at Hobby Lobby, and I just like actually felt like kind of splurging and getting yarn. I don't know, I'm really frugal when it comes to like shopping for the most part, so yeah, I actually just bought stuff that like looked cool to me, and I'm pretty excited about it. So let me show you guys what I got. So I'm just gonna reach in and pull out stuff and show you. So I got this absolutely stunning metallic yarn. This is obviously acrylic and has a 3% metallic, 97% acrylic. It is a medium 4-weight yarn, and it comes with 252 yards or 142 grams. And this colorway is called Peacock. I love peacock yarns. Like a lot of times colorways that I really like end up being called peacock. But I love this color. Like, I think this color is absolutely gorgeous. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with it. But that's kind of the way that I do crochet. I very rarely buy things, buy yarn with like a specific project in mind, which I know is really weird. Most people buy yarn with a specific project in mind. But because I typically clearance shop for my yarn, I'm just always on the prowl for really, really, really good priced yarn, and then I get it and I make do. Like, I use what I get, you know what I mean? And I get some really nice yarn when I do that, but it means that I'm used to just kind of using what I have. I've got a really great stash, and 99% of it was clearance, was like end of season clearance, dye lot clearance, things like that. So I very rarely go in and just buy yarn. So I'm pretty excited though. This color is absolutely beautiful. Very excited about that. And then this color is stunning. Look how stunning. Yes. Oh my gosh. You guys, glitteries and metallic-ies and bright in-your-face colors. This color is called Light Show. Oh, and this one was I Love This Yarn Metallic, by the way. This one is Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel Sparkle. And like I said, it's in the colorway of Light Show. This one is 97% 97% metallic, 97% acrylic, and 3% metallic polyester. It is a 4-weight yarn also. It has 302 yards or 170 grams. But by the way, these are not ironable. Is this one ironable? No. They are both wash under 40 degrees Celsius, and it has a little dryer icon, so I guess you can dry them. But yeah, stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I absolutely love this. Also don't know what I'm going to do with that, but rest assured it will go into something stunning. And then I got Okay, I got another Christmas yarn. You guys remember when I made my not Hobby Lobby, Joann's order? I ordered a Christmas yarn. I also got this one from Hobby Lobby. I think my Joann's one is not metallic. I can't remember though. But this one is a little bit different looking. This is their colorway of Christmas, and it is the I Love This Yarn Metallic, a 4-weight with 97% acrylic and 3% metallic polyester. 252 yards or 142 grams, same care instructions. So like these yarns are basically all the same, but just like a little bit different. But like I said, I am prepping for Christmas time because I really wanted to be able to have some Christmas yarns this year. So now I've got 2 skeins. I've got one from Joann's and one from Hobby Lobby. So these are going to be so fun. I really like the way the colors change in this, where they kind of bleed into the other colors. And it's shiny and sparkly. So very excited about that. Excited that I'm going to have some Christmas yarns to play with when it comes to be the season. So, and then what I wanted to show you guys was I got some things that I got inspired while in the store. I don't know when I'll be making this. I've got a lot of projects on my hook or about to be on my hook that I'm like working through, but it'll be soon, definitely. But, I saw 2 yarns right next to each other, like relatively next to each other. And I was like, oh, that's so pretty, but what would I do with it? Oh, it's so pretty, but what would I do with it? Moved along. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'll tell you in a minute what it is. But what would I do with it? And then I was like, I know what I would do with it, and I can use them both. So I got this scarfy yarn, which this is my first time ever getting scarfy yarn. It gives cotton candy vibes. I freaking think it is like a cloud that has been spun into yarn. Is this not the fluffiest, cotton candiest vibe of the world? Okay, so this is the colorway Sea Glass. That is so fitting. This is the colorway Sea Glass. It is Lion Brand. It is a 4-weight yarn with 349 yards or 100 grams. So here is the info for you guys. If you're interested in any of the specs, you can screenshot or pause and take a look. So this has 43% acrylic, 41% polyester, 9% nylon, and 7% lane. This yarn is expensive. Ooh, we're all fluffed out there. This yarn is very expensive. It was $8.49, of course 30% off. So I really was like, oh, it was so hard for me to buy this yarn, but I really wanted it. It was so pretty. So keep this one in mind. Keep how pretty this is and like what it kind of looks like in mind. And I'll show you my other yarn, my last yarn. And I grabbed 2 of these because it's a chunky yarn. And what I said when I saw these was, oh, it's so pretty and it's a chunky yarn. And I really like working with chunky yarn. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's got, can you guys guess what vibe I'm getting from the 2 of these things together? Mermaid. Is this not giving mermaid vibes? This is straight up mermaid, you guys. Look at those colors. I'm like overwhelmed with feelings of like excitement and joy when I look at this. Okay, so since I've got 2 of this, I can kind of hold this one up for you guys while I read you the specs. So this is I Love This Chunky, and it is the colorway of Herb Garden. It is 100 grams or 109 yards and 100% acrylic. You can machine wash under 30 degrees Celsius. Can blow dry. You can run it through the dryer. Do not iron. And it is a 5 bulky. Absolutely stunning. So I grabbed 2 of these because they are a chunky yarn. They don't come with as much. But you guys, I'm thinking mermaid and mermaid hair. Guys, can you imagine this as mermaid hair? And I bet I won't use it all for mermaid hair, guys, and this could be unicorn hair. I just thought that this would be perfect for hair. It was actually what I said when I looked at it. I was like, I know that people like buy this to make scarves, but you know, being the amigurumi fiend that I am, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that would make beautiful hair. It's got such a great texture for it. But guys, can you imagine these two colors together to make a mermaid? And obviously I'll use like some other colors with them. This will probably be for the tail of the mermaid. This will be for the hair of the mermaid. I'm so excited. I think they're going to be stunning. And then I also hit up their little clearance shelves. I always check the clearance shelves at Hobby Lobby because, you know, the time that you don't check them is going to be the time that they have amazing stuff. But also, like I said, I am very like into frugal crafting. I love to find things that are really, really cheap. For one, it makes me really happy to get really good deals. Like, it's like the highlight of my life to be like, I got this for $1. I literally love doing that. But what I like to do is get things for really, really good deals and then make them work. So when I'm crafting, I just see what I have and I make it work. And that's kind of just the way that I craft for the most part. That's just how I've always crafted, coming from not a lot of money as a kid, and we were definitely not the people that went out and bought things to craft with. We were very much, I crafted with whatever I could find inside the house or in the yard or salvaged from things I got at school or whatever. So I've always been very, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, let's just say adaptive. Not the word I'm looking for, but I don't feel like sitting here and thinking about it. So anyways, I got these pom-poms for 62 cents in the clearance. Normally $2.49, and they're tiny little flesh-colored pom-poms. I thought that these would make good pocket gnome noses. They are like the perfect size for pocket gnome noses. So, of course, I can use them for anything also, because it comes with a whole bunch. It comes with 125 beige pom-poms. So these are really small. They're about a little smaller than your fingertip. These will be perfect for pocket gnomes, but you know, of course, also just anything. And then I found these little tiny pom-poms. They stapled over the number, but I think it says there are 300 in here. So these are normally $2.49. I got them for 42 cents. There's where they stapled over the number, but I think it's 300. These are so tiny, very, very tiny pom-poms. And I thought that these would be good for eyes on really small things. Or buttons. Think like when you're making snowmen, you know, you could use them for the little buttons that go down the front of them. You could use them for eyes. You could use them for like anything you want, just a little tiny touch of black. Let's see. I've got some stuff in here that is not from this. Like I just stuck stuff in here. You guys had seen that I found these command strips before I moved in here, how I had put 2 of them on the back of that, or the side of that bookshelf. These were only $3.99 for these little command strip hooks at Hobby Lobby. That's just in here, so I figured I would let you guys know. I found these little acorn keychain. What are these things called? Oh my gosh, I'm like having a massive brain fart. These things. Keychain is not the word I'm looking for. Oh, what are these things called? Oh my gosh, really? The word trinket is all that's popping into my head, and that is not the word that I want. Whatever, it's gonna come to me, but I'm not gonna sit here and stew over it. So this is $4.99 normally, and I got it for 49 cents. And I was like, little pine cones for 49 cents. I could use these in my clay houses, or you know, anything that I think of that I want to put little acorns on. So I just thought they were really cute. And that's driving me nuts that I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of. And then I think this is the last item I got. But they had this huge pack of colored pencils in here, and I love to color in coloring books. And this is normally a $7.99 pack of colored pencils that I got for $1.99. And it comes with 50 colored pencils. So I'm pretty excited about that. That was like a really good find. These will be great for coloring books, which is, I love to do coloring books. And these are the brand Art Blast, which I have never used, but I'm like $1.99 for 50 pieces of colored pencils. Yes. Oh, the corner is taped. One second, let me get my little cloud out of here, you guys. AKA my box cutter. I want to open these and see what the colored pencils look like. So this has been my little haul. My little haul, y'all. There we go. Ooh. So here is the colors we're looking at. For $1.99, guys. Heck yes. My little crafty frugal self is happy about that. But yeah, so exciting stuff. Definitely going to be making a mermaid, which I actually haven't made a mermaid yet. So, how have I not made a mermaid yet? So finding these yarns and feeling like super inspired, to make a mermaid with them is perfect. Who knows? Maybe even a little bit of these will work their way in or something. Maybe I'll make like a little blanket to go with it or something. I don't know. I'm so excited. But anyways, guys, that's been my little haul and my finished make. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. Let me know what you guys are doing down in the comments. If you're doing anything fun, or if you are working on anything, what are you working on? And are you guys gonna go get root beer floats? Anyways, guys, I will see you again real soon. Bye, guys.